Next steps then, we're going to take the carburetor off. We can probably do that without removing the tank, but we are going to take the tank off just so we've got better access. And you know, the bike's new to us, we've not seen what's underneath there.
Investigation.
We're going to investigate. So that's a 12mm fitting right there. I've turned the fuel tap to the off position. I'm going to detach this pipe here in a second.
And no doubt fuel will spill everywhere and blow us all to an unpleasant place.
Yeah, so I might get a little bit of fuel spill. What I did notice while I was routing around under here is there's a vacuum line coming down here, going into this little nozzle here. It was very loose. It was very loose. This hose looks like it's a little bit too short to fit onto there. So we may have had a slight vacuum leak as well, which could have given us some of the rough running symptoms. So I've just pushed that back on there for now, but I think what I will do is replace that with one that is a little bit longer so that it's not pulling itself off.
And we can hopefully get a little maybe clippy thing on there too.
Yeah, maybe. So that's potentially something to look at. But yeah, we'll take the tank off and start taking the carburetor off.
Just a little wire connection there to separate.
Of course, we've got a fuel gauge, so that's what that'll be. Let me just unfasten that for you. The tank's off now, as you can see. Kieran's making a start on removing the carburetor. We're not going to go into all the detail here, we're not doing an instructional, but you can see there are various fixings all around the place, so just work your way around logically, I'm sure you'll be fine.
So clamp there, a couple of bolts over there.
Okay. All the nuts, bolts, fastenings, screws, widgets, whatsits are all detached now. So this should be ready to come off, should more or less come off. I've started unscrewing this, so I'm just going to pull that out of the way. Just hold on a second. There we go. So there's the needle. Just going to put that out of the way.
It's free.
And there is one carburetor ready to be investigated. It's getting windy. Actually, while the carburetor's off and out of the way, you can see over here, this is the earth strap from the battery, and it's looking a little bit funky in there, as is the connection there onto the starter motor. So I think while we've got the space, I might just take those off, clean those up and put them back on. Back in the garage then, and starting to dismantle this carburetor. Kieran's already emptied the fuel out of it. We've just disposed of that safely, and we're going to start taking these screws out the bottom. So there's one.
Yeah, it was something to be aware of, obviously, because it should be that way up. So I had to turn it upside down and did have a little bit of fuel just spill out. That's why we got the little catch can underneath.
These carburetor screws can sometimes be a bit sticky. You can see that they're sort of Phillips head, so make sure you've got a Phillips head screwdriver. Where's that gone? It is there.
Yeah.
And not a posi drive, because sometimes you're just going to mess those things right up.
Yeah.
Is there just 3 on?
It just seems to be the 3.
So we've got the 3 to remove, and then we can take the float ball out and start looking inside. Let's put them in there for now.
A little slightly crusty. It'll probably, I would imagine, a gasket or something in there, but a little rubber seal. But,
right.
A couple of hearing aids.
So that's what the inside of a carburetor looks like. I'm going to start taking it apart, cleaning it out. Right. It doesn't actually look too bad in here. You can see it's fairly clean. If this had been sat for a long time, if this were a proper old school restoration, you might see some kind of varnishy looking residue in there, which is what you need to clean out. But it's actually pretty clean, but we'll do what we can. I'm going to take the float off first. So that's just got a pin through here. I'm going to push it from this side. You see it starting to pop out there. So I'll pull that from there. Just put it in there. Which means that's now free to come out. with this little jobber here. So now I'm going to clean out in there. I'm going to remove these jets. I'm going to clean those out, clean down in there, make sure that all these channels are all clear basically, so that the fuel can get through, because they're only very small, as you can see, and they do get blocked fairly easily, and if they do get blocked then your bike's definitely not going to run right. So I'm going to clean that one out, take this one out, take this one out, clean them. I'll show you that in a bit.
The Tiny Tiny Flute by Mr. Hansen.
You can see on these things there are these tiny little holes in the various ends, and these are the things that get blocked. So all I was doing there was just blowing through to try and make sure that they're all clear. The general advice is not to stick anything into that or into there or into anywhere really. Just use air, otherwise you might enlarge these holes and mess everything up. So yeah, you can use compressed air. I might get the compressor fired up in a second, but they do seem to all be clear. I can see through those, so I think that one at least is fine. This is the other one. Again, you can see more holes.
Not a good tune you're playing though. Ah, that's more like it. Jazz.
I'm out of practice. I'm the spirit of jazz. I'm gonna come inside here. I'm gonna wear you like a glove.
I don't know if it's suitable for children.
Perhaps not. So we've put this back together now. We took the main and pilot jets out and blew those out with the compressed air. We blew down into the recesses for those to make sure that was all clear. Same again over here where the float needle goes. We've blown that one out, so that's all fine. You can see there are various other little passageways around the place, so it's just a case of making sure they're all clear. You can use carburetor cleaner and then compressed air. These weren't very dirty, so we've just used the compressed air. On this end, I have just used a little bit of abrasive paper to tidy up that mating surface because it was a little bit uneven. Got some old bits of gasket on there, obviously taking that ring out first. Just put that back while I remember. And I think that is more or less it. So we're going to put the
Get its hat back on.
Put the little hat back on. Carefully. And put the screws back in. And then I might just give it a little brush with the little wire brush just to make it look a little bit more presentable.
A little brush with a brush.
Little brush with a brush.
We've cleaned up the surface of the engine block there where the carburetor is going to be resting, so that that rubber seal in there can actually do what it's meant to do. That's it, just force it in regardless. So all this stuff back together. Once it's all lined up and whatnot, we'll get it all buttoned up. That just looks painful. Operation.
What are you doing, Kieran?
Well, I'm moving some old combustible stuff out of one container and into another.
Yeah. So the carburetor being clean now, that's all back on. We're just getting rid of this old fuel out of this petrol tank so we can put some fresh stuff in and hopefully start. So I've just employed my old jerry can and a funnel.
Alright, Jerry.
This might take some time, but yeah, we are effectively emptying the petrol tank.